Welcome to Crafting on the Plains. My name is Jacinta, and this is my podcast about cross stitch, sewing, knitting, quilting, and any other crafty endeavors that I happen to get up to. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you so much for coming. And if you are a new viewer, welcome, and thank you for stopping by. If you have not already, please consider subscribing and liking the video. That not only helps me out, but it also helps YouTube know that you want to see more of my videos and videos like mine. While I am on the topic of YouTube social media, my Instagram is below. It's just crafting.on.the.plains. And I have made a resolution this month in November to share more on Instagram. I realized I've been lacking in doing that, and I want to get better about sharing my progress, my starts, my finishes, all of that stuff for you and for me to look back on. So I have made a resolution for the month of November to post. I'm trying to post every day. I don't know if I've quite done that, but I'm trying to make a lot more posts on there. And I have posted a few tutorials, reels, little things on there that's just some more close in-depth tips, tricks, things like that on there. And I also have posted a couple shorts here on YouTube as well, because I know not everybody who's on Flosstube is on Instagram, so that way you don't miss it. And also the algorithm, she is a fickle mistress. So hopefully you thought that those were interesting and enjoyed them, and I am liking making some short little clips and videos, so I plan on doing that a little bit more. So I hope that you are enjoying them. So with that all said, I'm going to go ahead and get started with my stitching. And I have one finish, and it is the only autumn piece that I'm going to show you today. And that is this one. It is my Raccoon Rabble by Plum Street Samplers. And this actually was a Halloween finish. Could not have been more perfect. I finished it on Halloween night right after we got done trick-or-treating, and it was perfect. So here's what it looks like. I mean, the little back-stitched hands on the little raccoons. So cute. I stitched this on a 36 count fiber on a whim milk and honey, and I did 2 strands over 2. So it's very full coverage. There are a couple places where I did 1 over 1 because it's called for, like on the little baby raccoon. Maybe it'll focus better. I have a new camera and a new mic, so we're learning today, and I'm very happy with it. I used pretty much the called for. All of my fancy floss was called for, and then about half the DMC was called for, and about half the DMC was just, I substituted something similar. So it's not really a conversion, but very, very happy with how it turned out. And I don't anticipate fully finishing this year. I have a stack. I actually finished all of my autumn pieces. So I have a nice little stack in my craft room of autumn finishes that I can start next autumn finishing up, and I'm very excited about that. And that means I can also start a whole bunch of new autumn things next season as well. So that concludes my autumn finish. And after Halloween, I have gone full on Christmas making. I don't know. I just needed some Christmas spirit, I guess, but I've been never so excited to start Christmas making. So I do have a question for you though. I would like to know, when do you stitch for Christmas? Are you stitching for Christmas and holidays now? Do you stitch all year round for holidays? Do you stitch a season ahead so you can have finishes? When do you stitch for Christmas and holidays? And when do you decorate for Christmas and holidays? Because I used to be a very firm believer of December 1st, or at least after Thanksgiving. And I don't know, this year, that tree might come out a little bit early because I'm just really feeling it. So please tell me, when do you start decorating for your holidays, for Christmas time? Have you already started? When do you start? And also, when are you doing your holiday making? Because I am very curious to know what everyone is doing. All right, that being said, I'm going to go ahead and just jump into my progress and my WIPs. So my first WIP is a new start. And this one is, I'm going to have to insert a picture because I am doing, I think that it's called Deck the Halls. It is from Cross Stitcher. I'm looking over here to make sure I'm getting it right. It's Cross Stitcher. I think it's the December edition of Cross Stitcher from this year. And there's two patterns in the, I guess, in that section of the magazine. And this is the one that I have started. And my needle minder is from Rebel Stitcher. And this is a very special new start because this is for the Ornament Exchange Sal being hosted by Como Stitches and the Fanciful Flamingo. Unfortunately, the signups for this are closed now, but I signed up as soon as I saw it on Instagram, and I got my partner, and Jess from Como Stitches said that we can post and talk about our project. We just obviously can't share who we're sending it to. So as soon as I saw who I was sending to, I immediately thought of this piece, and I knew that I had to stitch it. So here it is again. This is on 36 count flax by Fiber on a Whim, and I'm doing 2/2 as well on it. I just love that pink. I love pink Christmas. Pink Christmas everything. I love it. And I love this so much that honestly, I kind of wish I was keeping it. I might have to stitch it for myself as well. But there it is. I'm hoping it's a quick stitch. I started this last night for like an hour or so, and that's how much I got done. The parameters are, it has to be less than 6 by 6, and I think this is going to be maybe like 3 by 3. It's going to be so small and cute because it's on 36 count, and it's kind of a small chart anyway. And I'm not exactly sure. I'm thinking I'll do a pillow finish ornament, but I might switch it up. So I'm really happy to see how this is coming along. And I do have to prioritize this project a bit because I have to have it sent off by no later than December 4th. And this is my flosses, and I put them all on various different Christmas paper floss drops. So I have a little bit of called for and a little bit of just DMCs that I thought looked good. So if you're interested, it's not really a conversion, but if you're interested, please let me know, and I'm happy to share it with you. There it is. I love it. Very excited to be stitching that one. My next WIP, and this is in a project bag that I made myself. My next WIP was my Christmas in July start, also in a project bag I made myself. This one I really like because I did a little bit of quilting on it. And this is, I always want to forget the name of it. I believe it's called Winter Thistle. If I'm wrong, I'll correct myself. I believe it's Winter Thistle. Oh, I didn't say the name of the designer for the last one. And I think now I'm missing it. It's not on the page I saved. Okay. I'll post that. This is Winter Thistle, I think, by Modern Folk Embroidery. And here is what I'm doing. I'll go ahead and, my needle minder is from Flamingo Toes. I really like their needle minders. They're on Etsy. And this is on a 36 count Under the Sea Fabrics. And I am stitching it 1/2 on 36 count. That is because I don't have enough floss to do 2/2. It's okay. So, so here it is. So pretty. I'm loving how this is coming out. So the floss I'm using is Fool's Gold by Classic Colorworks, and it is a beautiful silver to gold variegated. I love it, but I only have one skein. I guess I could buy another skein. It wouldn't, but I'm trying to use this. This was like a trying to use up stash project. So here I am on that. Fool's Gold. And so I've got the main thistle finished, and then I'm just going to keep stitching kind of the main motifs out and see how much floss I have left and just decide what to do. There are snowflakes in the pattern, which Jacob does suggest you can do in another color. And so I'm going to do Sulky 12 weight in 712, which is their white colorway. And I'm excited to see how the Sulky, I really like this. It's just a smidge thicker than DMC floss. And I'm excited to see how it looks on the 36 count. My cat is up to something, so I may have to figure out what she's doing here in a second. So I'm really loving that. I would really like to get this finished this year as well. I was wanting it to be an ornament, but I think it might end up just a bit big for an ornament. So it might end up being framed or something like that. But I'm very happy with that. Okay, give me one moment. I'm going to let my cat out of this room, and I also realized I forgot a whip. I'm back. Apologies. Okay, so my next whip is one that you have seen before in previous weeks, and that is the Christmas Wonderland Mystery Stitch Along by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. And here we are. It's so pretty, and I am so far behind. I got the kit from Caterpillar Cross Stitch, so it came with all the floss, which is getting messy, and I got they had some options for fabric. I got the 32 count even weave, and I also, the needle minder was an add-on. Wow, that's really bad job of showing you. Needle minder was an add-on, but 100% worth it. I still have not finished clue 1, but I kind of did something sneaky and cheated a little bit and went over here and started working on clue 2 because I was just getting bored with this big old blue pond, you guys. If you can see, there is little spots where the skaters are going to go and stuff. So I just had to, the other night, I just had to skip on over and start working on clue 2 because that's where all these cute little stand, I think this is like some type of stand that's selling a beverage, and there's like houses and I don't know, all kinds of stuff. So that's what I'm doing. I am probably going to do a couple lengths in the pond and then jump over and work on some of the other clues. I'm not particularly worried about being caught up on this because I bought it because I loved it, not because I wanted to get it done on a specific schedule. So if it takes me until next Christmas, not a big deal. But I do want to start working on the fun stuff, which are all those cute little village houses and shops and things. So hoping to get some good progress in on that. And I'm very excited about it. My next piece I have not worked on recently, but this is kind of getting into plans. So I am going to, this is a piece that I am absolutely going to make a priority and will be finished this holiday season. And that is Christmas Bell Sampler by Heartstring Samplery. It's stunning. It's stunning. It is amazing. This is maybe one of my most favorite projects I've ever worked on, and I can't tell you how amazing it is in person to work with. So this is stitched on a 36 count Winter Moon, I think, by Zweigart. I'm doing 2/2 like I usually do. The coverage is beautiful, and this border, y'all, is everything. It is not repetitive at all, and it's a little challenging, but it is worth it. It's worth it. It's amazing. I am going to get this finished this year. I am committing myself to that, and I'm going to get it framed for next year. This is going to get professionally framed, folks. It is. So I worked on this during Christmas in July, and then I put it away. So in Christmas in July, I put in this band here, and I filled in some of this here. So I need to finish the vine up this way and fill in the flowers and then finish the words. And this is my own conversion that I did to color and cotton. And if you're interested in my conversion, please let me know. Please email me, message me on Instagram. I am happy to send it to you. But it is color and cotton mainly. I'm using, for the 2 greens, Castle Garden and Ivory. Or not Ivory, Ivy. Wow. For the pink and the red, I'm doing Bing Cherry and Old Brick. And for the words, I'm doing Bracken, and I attached my DMC Atoll to the other side. And then this, I think this is actually called for. The bells are actually sparkly. And it's, I don't know if you can actually see the sparkle in them, but it's amazing. So I am going to finish this year. I think I'm going to focus on my swap ornament exchange piece just because that has a December 4th deadline, and I would like to send it out well ahead of December 4th just because I know that postage starts getting a little questionable the closer that you get into the holiday season. So I would like to make sure that my partner gets it well ahead of time so that they can open it and enjoy it whenever they want. And after I'm done with that, I think I'm going to make this a major focus piece for sure. And my next one is just a plan I have. I have bought a couple other Christmas patterns that are still coming in the mail. But this is one that I am hoping I can start at some point this year. I don't know. But I bought this one earlier, and it is called A Cup of Christmas Cheer. It's by Brenda Gervais. Oops, with a needle and thread. And it is just so cute. Again, I love the pink gingerbread. I love anything pink. I love anything non-traditional Christmas colors. Blue for Christmas, pink for Christmas. I love non-traditional Santas. Yeah, I love that stuff. So that concludes my stitching. I have a teensy bit of sewing and a teensy bit of knitting. So I'm going to talk about my sewing, which is also stitching related. I am just working on a project bag. It's a Christmas one. This is what I have. I have project bag parts. I have 2 halves of a project bag that still need to be assembled and threads that need to be cut apparently. So this is some cute fabric that I bought last year from Joann's, and I plan on making it to project bag. I actually cut out the pieces last year and never sewed them together. So I just need to sandwich this all, trim off my little zipper pieces, and do my binding because I do my project bags bound. I put 2 tabs for the zippers because I was using up stash, just trying to use up stash, and my zipper was not quite long enough. So I just added some to the sides, and there's that. And then it's just lined with some white kind of tone-on-tone floral, also for my stash. And I used the fusible fleece, the Pellon fusible fleece this time. So it's a little bit thicker. And I like it so far. I will say sewing the zipper on was a little bit more challenging than with just the interfacing. But I do like the squishiness. So I'm excited to see how I like it. I have some other Christmas fabric. I'm hoping to make a couple more Christmas project bags. I would love to have all of my projects can have their own Christmas themed project bag. Don't know if that's realistic though. And I would love to make one and do a little bit of a giveaway like I did with my Halloween one. You guys really love that. No promises, but I'm going to try. I'm going to see how much sewing time I get in the next couple weeks because I also need to make me and my daughter's Thanksgiving skirts, which I talked about in the last video. Now I have just a little knitting. After I finished my daughter's sweater, I went back to my sweater that y'all have not seen in a cool minute. So it's in this Home Row Fiber Co bag that I got years ago, and this is my Miserina, which is a pattern by Caitlin Hunter. And I love this, but it is work. So my yarns, I'm using this one, which I actually don't know the name or the base, but it's from Apothecary Fibers. I bought it from her at a fiber festival, and I remember her saying like it was mislabeled and so it was discounted or something. And so it is a fingering weight that was like in some really big, like 400 yard skeins or something, but it was mislabeled, so I don't actually have the information about it. But I know it's merino, and I know it's fingering weight, and so it's this beautiful yellow color. And then my contrast is a colorway called Don't Let the Hard Days Win. It's from Dragon Horde Yarn, and it's this midnight blue with like some purple in it. It's really, really beautiful. And this was from a Sip and Knit mystery box that she sold a couple years ago. So this is my Miserina. This is actually supposed to be a short sleeve sweater. If I have the yarn, I'm going to lengthen the sleeves because I prefer a long sleeve sweater. So if I'm wearing wool, might as well have long sleeve. But it is beautiful and it is complicated. So here it is. It's so pretty. The color work is amazing, but it has lace, it has color work, it has cables all in one. So there are rounds where I am cabling, doing color work, catching floats all at one time. So this thing is slow moving. It is. And some nights I can do like 1 or 2 rounds and then I'm tired of it and I have to put it down. But I love how the color work is turning out. And there's my floats in case you want to see them. I find it very satisfying to see people's floats. So here she is, my little sweater donut. And I have like 10-ish, maybe more rows of color work. Maybe more, I don't know. My wishful thinking, but I'm getting I'm like closing in on the yoke. And I am stitching this on, let's see if my eyesight will cooperate with me enough to read these needles. The Xiaogu Fixed Red Lace size US 4 3.5 millimeter. The Xiaogu Red Lace Fixed is my favorite needle of all times. You can't tell me otherwise. I highly recommend them if you are starting out. They are so good to use. I have a couple other needles for like that are bamboo and stuff for when I travel, but in general, Xiaogu Red Lace Fixed is my needle ride or die. So that is that. I think that pretty much concludes my episode this week. I had a little bit of a shorter one because I'm trying to record every 2 weeks instead of every like 3.5, 4. So hopefully I'll be back in 2 weeks. Please let me know what you're stitching on, what you're working on. Are you working on Christmas and holiday yet? Are you still on fall? Are you on spring if you're in the Southern Hemisphere? Let me know. I would love to hear from you. And again, please consider liking and subscribing if you like what you see. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.